I mean, quite astounding how much money they managed to rake in.
Yes, 27% for fiscal 21 for all endowments, and the bigger endowments did much better at 34%. And, I guess if you're looking at the S&P rallies, that was up 4% for U.S. equities, and even foreign stocks rose 36%. So they got a nice bump just from being invested in the stock market.
Janet, talk to us, though, about being invested in the stock market. One thing we've heard, and you covered this so well, is then the reallocation of assets. You take your gains and you put them elsewhere, which has many blaming some of these funds on pushing the 10-year yield so low. How are we thinking about the reallocation, locking in those gains?
I don't think they're going to be doing much after this year. They're going to be taking these gains, and they determine their spending usually on an average of 3 or 5 years. So you're not going to be seeing any differences with, allocations to hedge funds or VC, which likely did very well and contributed to these gains. But their budgets, are based on an average. One outstanding year is not going to change much. And that's, that may come to us as a surprise to people who are observers of colleges when we know that it was such a constrained year. With enrollments were down, kids weren't on campus, so they were losing revenue left and right from empty dorms and dining halls. But this is definitely welcome news, especially after this year. And we don't know what's going to happen come August and September when kids start coming back with the Delta variant.
Well, give us a little.
We already know.
Yeah, well, Janet, can you give us a little perspective on the comeback here? Because, I mean, we're looking at August would be the normal return time for a lot of these kids, August and September here. I saw there's some reporting a little bit earlier here on the Bloomberg terminal about some of the incentives these colleges are trying to offer to get students, I guess, not only to enroll, but to actually just show up physically.
Well, I think students are pretty eager to get back on campus. We have a story on the terminal now talking about potential housing shortages because so many kids are coming back, they're not going abroad. But the question is, what is the year going to be like? Last week, we saw Yale and Cornell and Duke imposing indoor mask requirements again. We already know that international students are having trouble getting here because of decreased flights, because of visa issues, vaccines.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing fewer international students, they often pay the full price. These magnificent gains from fiscal 2021 may be eaten up pretty quickly.